For 30-some years, a paycheck showed up like clockwork. Every 2 weeks, boom, there it was. Then you retire, and that check just stops coming. And that's the moment a lot of folks get scared. Not because they don't have money, they just don't have a paycheck no more. And those ain't the same thing. Meet Carol, 68, lost her husband 3 years back, sitting on $380,000. That's real money. But Carol called me nervous as anything. "Earl," she said, "I got all this money, but nothing's coming in. I'm scared to spend a dime of it." You spend your whole working life getting a check. Then suddenly, you're supposed to just sell pieces of your savings whenever you need cash? That's terrifying for most folks. Here's what I told Carol. You don't have to sell your nest egg piece by piece and watch the numbers shrink. You can build something that pays you, on a schedule, like a paycheck. It's called income investing, and it's one of the most underused ideas in retirement planning. Instead of a pile you chip away at, you build a machine that spits out cash regular, while the pile mostly stays put. I'm Earl. Today, I'm going to show you exactly how to turn your savings into something that feels like a paycheck again. Real numbers, real strategies, plain English. We're going to build Carol a paycheck portfolio, piece by piece, and by the end, you'll know how to build your own. Whether you got 50,000 or 500,000, the same ideas apply. This ain't about getting rich quick. This is about sleeping good at night, knowing money's coming in, no matter what the market's doing that day. If that sounds good, hit that subscribe button right now. I break down real retirement money like this every single week. No hype, no fear, just what works. All right, first thing Carol needed to understand is there's two completely different ways money can work for you. A capital gain is when something grows in value and you sell it for more than you paid. Income is when an investment pays you while you still own it. You don't sell nothing. Most folks spend their whole working life thinking capital gains. Fine for building wealth. Not so great for living off it, 'cause you're stuck watching your pile shrink every month. Income investing flips that around. Instead of shrinking your pile for cash, you collect what the pile throws off, and the pile itself mostly sits there, still working. Think of it like an orchard. A capital gain is selling off pieces of the orchard for cash. Income investing is just picking the fruit every season and keeping the trees. So where's this fruit come from? Mainly three places: dividends, interest, and guaranteed income contracts. Let's build Carol's portfolio piece by piece, starting with the one most folks have heard of. Piece 1. Dividend-paying stocks and funds. Some companies raise their dividend every single year for 10, 20, even 50 years straight. Rain or shine. Folks call them dividend aristocrats. You can buy a whole basket of them at once through a dividend ETF. One purchase, dozens of companies, all paying you. Real numbers. A solid dividend fund yields around 3 1/3% these days. On Carol's $380,000, that's over $12,000 a year without selling a single share. And here's what folks miss. Those dividends tend to grow. A stock paying 3% today might pay 4 or 5 on your original money in 10 years. A raise you didn't have to ask your boss for. Now, I gotta be straight. The share price still bounces around with the market, but the dividend itself's usually a lot steadier. Companies hate cutting it, even in a rough patch. So while the balance wobbles day to day, that check tends to keep showing up. That's the whole appeal. And spread it across dozens of companies, so one bad apple don't spoil your paycheck. That's piece 1. A little over $12,000 a year for Carol, just from dividends. Now let's add piece 2. Piece 2, bonds and interest-paying funds. When you buy a bond, you're loaning money to a company or the government. In return, they pay you interest on a schedule. There's funds that hold a big basket of bonds and pay the interest out monthly. One well-known corporate bond fund's paying around 3.5%, sent out every single month. Not quarterly, every month. Then there's CDs. Lock your money up for a set time. The bank pays a fixed rate, FDIC insured. A solid 5-year CD's paying around 4% right now, completely predictable. There's a cousin to the CD called a MYGA, a multi-year guaranteed annuity. Rates run higher than most CDs, sometimes over 5%, and the growth ain't taxed till you pull it out. That tax deferral matters. Every dollar not going to taxes yet is still working for you, compounding in the background. Smart move is building a ladder. Don't put all your money in one term. Spread it across different lengths, 1 year, 3, 5. As each comes due, spend it or roll it into a new rate. For Carol, we set aside a chunk in a monthly bond fund and a chunk in a CD and MYGA ladder. Steady, predictable, boring in the best way possible. Between dividends and interest, Carol's got 2 streams coming in on 2 schedules. But there's one more piece, and it's the one that really feels like a paycheck. Piece 3. The guaranteed income annuity. You hand an insurance company a lump sum one time. They send you a check every month for the rest of your life. Guaranteed. No matter how long you live. This type's called a single premium immediate annuity, an SPIA, about as close as you can get to building your own private pension. Social Security's already a guaranteed check for life. This just adds a second one. Now hear the trade-off clearly. Once you hand over that lump sum, the money's usually locked in. This ain't where you put money you might need for emergencies. It's for covering your must-pay bills, guaranteed. That's how smart retirees use it. Figure out your must-pay expenses. Make sure Social Security plus an annuity covers all of it. Once basic bills are guaranteed, the rest of your money suddenly feels like extra. You worry less about the market, 'cause your groceries don't depend on it that week. For Carol, we didn't put everything into an annuity. Just enough alongside Social Security to lock down her bills. That's 3 pieces now. Dividends, interest, guaranteed income, each paying on its own schedule. Together, that starts to feel like Carol's old paycheck again. Quick favor, if this is making sense, hit that like button. Helps me get this in front of other folks figuring the same thing out. Now let's put the whole machine together. This is the 3-layer paycheck system, and it's how we organized every dollar of Carol's $380,000. Layer 1. Cash. 1 to 2 years of living expenses, safe and easy to reach. A high-yield savings account, a short CD. Your shock absorber for a rough month. Layer 2. Income. This is where the dividends, bonds, CD ladder, and annuity live. Its whole job is throwing off regular cash, which refills Layer 1 without selling anything. Layer 3. Growth. Money you don't need for years, invested a little more aggressively so it keeps ahead of inflation. Your insurance against living a real long time. Here's how we split Carol's $380,000. $30,000 into cash, covering about a year and a half. $200,000 into income, split across dividends, bonds, and a modest annuity. The rest, $150,000, into growth. Every dollar's got a job and knows how long it's got to do it. Cash's job is safety right now. Income pays the bills every month. Growth protects Carol from running out 20 years down the road. Because the income layers constantly refill in the cash layer, Carol almost never has to sell anything from growth, especially not during a bad market. That's the whole secret. Compare that to selling off pieces of one big pile whenever you need cash, hoping the market's in a good mood. Stressful. With the 3-layer system, money shows up regular, and the growth pile keeps doing its job, untouched. That's the structure. But even a good structure gets messed up by a few common mistakes. Let's talk about the traps. and how Carol avoided them. Mistake 1. Chasing yield. That's jumping at something paying an unusually high percentage just for the number. A yield that looks too good to be true usually is. Sky-high payouts often mean something shaky underneath. Simple rule. If one investment's paying way more than similar ones around it, ask why before you ask how much. Carol almost fell for one at a seminar, paying nearly double her dividend fund. She looked closer and passed. Slower and steadier won. Mistake 2. Ignoring fees. Some funds charge 1, even 2% a year, coming straight out of your income. On Carol's income layer, a 1% difference was worth almost $2,000 a year, quietly leaking out. Always check the expense ratio before you buy any fund. Lower's almost always better for a piece of your portfolio whose whole job is paying you. Mistake 3. Putting everything into just one type of income. When you got just one type, you're exposed to just that one type's weak spot. That's why we built Carol 3 pieces on 3 different schedules. Mistake 4. And this one's sneaky. Forgetting taxes. Some dividends get qualified treatment, taxed lower. Regular interest usually gets taxed like ordinary income, a higher rate. Worth sitting with a tax pro on which pieces go in which account. Carol avoided every one of these, mostly just by slowing down and asking questions before signing anything. Slow down, ask why, don't chase the shiny number. Now let's see how it all came together. Between dividends, interest, and the annuity, Carol's got $1,400 to $1,600 a month showing up, on top of Social Security. That's not from selling off her nest egg piece by piece. That's her money working and paying her, while the bulk of it stays put and keeps growing. Carol told me something that stuck with me. "Earl, I finally feel like I got a paycheck again." That right there is the whole point of this system. It ain't about squeezing out the highest possible percentage. It's about building something predictable enough that you can relax and enjoy the retirement you worked your whole life for. And Carol's $380,000 ain't shrinking every month just to keep her afloat. Most months, the income layer throws off enough that her savings barely budge. Sometimes they even creep up. Your numbers won't look exactly like Carol's, but the same 3-layer idea scales up or down. Cash for safety, income for your bills, growth for the long haul. Just the size of each piece changes. Let me leave you the quick version so you can go build this yourself. 3 layers, 3 types of income. 1 simple goal. Layer 1, cash. 1 to 2 years, safe and easy to reach. Layer 2, income. Dividends, bonds, CD or MYGA ladders, maybe a modest annuity for your must-pay bills. Layer 3, growth. Money you won't touch for years, staying ahead of inflation. Avoid the traps. Don't chase a yield that looks too good. Watch your fees. Spread across different income types. Don't forget, taxes matter too. Do that, and you've built something most retirees never even knew was possible. A real paycheck, built out of your own savings, showing up month after month. This ain't about getting rich overnight. It's about building something steady enough that you can finally stop worrying every time you check your balance. So here's what I want you to do this week. Pull up your own accounts. How much of what you got is set up to pay you income right now, versus just sitting there waiting to be sold off someday? Just seeing that number honest is how Carol started. You can't build a paycheck portfolio till you know where you're standing today. Then ask the 3-layer question. What's my cash layer? My income layer? My growth layer? If those answers ain't clear yet, that's exactly where to begin. And tell me in the comments, are you sitting on a pile you're scared to touch, like Carol was? Or have you already got some income coming in? I read every single one, and I answer. Somebody reading these comments might be sitting right where you were 6 months ago. Your story might be exactly what helps them take that first step. If this helped even a little, do me two quick favors. First, hit that like button. It helps another retiree find this video and feel a little less scared about their own savings. And second, if you ain't subscribed yet, come on and join us. Every week I break down real retirement money like this. Plain English, no hype, no fear, just what works. That way, next time you're staring at your accounts wondering what to do, you won't be guessing. You'll already know exactly where to start. Your savings don't have to just sit there shrinking a little every month while you cross your fingers. It can work. It can pay you. It can feel like a paycheck again. You spent 30, 40 years earning that money the hard way. You deserve to spend the next 30 watching it work just as hard for you. Carol went from being scared to touch her own savings, to getting a check most months and feeling like herself again. That transformation's available to you too. 3 layers, 3 types of income, 1 simple goal. You've got everything you need right now to go build this for yourself, starting this week. I'm Earl. This has been Earl's Money Talk, where we turn the money you worked for into the retirement you deserve. Go pull up those accounts. Look at them with clear eyes, and start asking yourself which layer each dollar belongs in. 'Cause the best time to build your paycheck portfolio was the day you retired. And the second best time is today. You worked a lifetime for this money. Now it's time to put it to work for you. Take good care of yourself, and take good care of that paycheck you're about to build. You've got the 3 layers. You've got the 3 income types. You've got everything you need to make this money pay you, month after month. One more thing before you go. Don't let fear keep that money sitting idle out of pure worry. Fear's an expensive advisor, and it don't have your best interest at heart. A well-built income plan beats a scared, idle pile of cash every single time in the long run. So take that first step this week. Look at your accounts. Start asking the 3-layer question. Thanks for spending this time with me today. It genuinely means something. Go build that paycheck. You've earned every bit of it. I'll see you in the very next one. Until then, this is Earl, reminding you it's never too late to make your money work as hard as you did.